Happy Tuesday, friends. I've been inside all day. I've been working on lesson plans, videos, and uh, uh, having meetings. We've been doing them over the phone and Skype and all that. So I thought it would be a great time to spend some time outside, get some fresh air and some oxygen, and continue our story, Treasure Hunters. We are on chapter 2 of our story. Last time we left off, the kids were all alone on the ship with no parents to be found. I think my parents nicknamed my brother Tailspin because he usually has a serious look on his face. Unless he's navigating the ship. Then, the guy's like a laser, completely focused. As the day dragged, on the sun scorched in every way, every cloud in the sky, Tommy stood at the wheelhouse, squinting at his instruments and ignoring the blistering heat. This was hard to do because the deck was so hot my feet were sizzling like sausages on a grill. So, there's his brother. Imagine it being so hot that your feet are like burning like sausages. Like when you go outside in the summer without your shoes on, maybe at the pool, on that concrete, your feet are like that. Ooh, ugh, can't imagine. Are we lost? I asked. Definitely. Tommy nudged the wheel a little to the left. Are you laying in a course? No, I'm going with the flow, bro. What? The current, the Cayman Islands are in the direction in its path. So we're basically drifting. Basically, the GPS is dead. Didn't like being submerged in the water. Beck, who's still wearing those 3D glasses, came to join in our conversation. We're still taking in water, she reported. Big time. Tommy nodded and remained remarkably mellow. No matter how much bad news we hurled in his way. No worries. I'm only burning fuel to power the generators, and to keep the bungee pump batteries stoked. Now Storm joined in with us outside the cabin deck. She was eating a Twinkie that she must have found floating around in the gallery. The wrapping had kept the moist sponge cake from getting too soggy. We should have a funeral, she said. Tommy got that Tailspin confused look on his face. For the dead GPS? No, for Mom and Dad. They're not dead, I said. They might be, said Beck. Well, you don't have funerals for people who might be dead. You wait. You wait for what? I don't know. Maybe till we have a body to bury? Storm shook her head. Not gonna happen. Sharks. She emphasized her point by chopping off a chunk of her Twinkie. So we decided to go ahead and have a funeral at sea. Beck found Dad's favorite hat, this navy sweat-stained, beat-up old yachting cap, sporting golden anchors on a golden life preserver. Dad has worn this hat so much the salt in the sand had faded the gold to popcorn yellow. Mom bought this hat for Dad when he first started treasure hunting on his own boat. We took turns holding the hat and remembering Mom and Dad. Beck, who's technically the youngest by 2 minutes, went first. Thanks for giving us the best birthday party ever, she said. Thank you especially for the incredibly awesome coconut pirate head from Hawaii. That made me smile. On our birthday, Mom and Dad would always take me and Beck into the nearest port and let us pick out the coolest presents ever. My favorite was a samurai sword we found in Hong Kong, and instead of an ice cream or cake, we always have whatever exotic dessert the locals served. Sometimes those desserts would be on fire. So we would have to blow that out instead of birthday candles. What was up next? I remember the first time Mom and Dad took me and Beck to go on a dive. Not the first time on a scuba gear, but the first time we went down to a real shipwreck. We both found these really cool old Roman coins. Later, I asked Dad if he had planted the coins so Beck and I would find them. Did he? Beck said, who probably was wondering the same thing. I shook my head. Nope. He said the sea would never go easy on us. So neither would he, and neither did Mom. We found those coins fair and square, and we were technically treasure hunters. Thanks, Dad, for teaching us how we could handle anything the ocean or the life threw at us. Except for this, said Storm, opening up her arms and taking on the ship, the sea, and the enormity of our generally sticky situation. We all stared at her. Sorry, she mumbled. No worries, I said, because like the way Tommy sounded when he said it was your turn, Storm. Okay, well, remember that time we docked in the cove right next to that 90-foot yacht? I nodded. The rich kids whose parents couldn't figure out those fancy diesel engines running? Yeah, well, anyway, Dad was on the deck cleaning up a dagger when he found a sunken pirate ship. It was a hot day and I jumped in for a swim. Those boys on the yacht started yelling and making jokes. Tommy started laughing. I remember that. Dad clenched the dagger between his feet, grabbed the rope, and went swinging over to the yacht in pirate style. Beck picked it up from there. Then he said, you folks look like you're having engine problems. Too bad you're miles from the nearest mechanic. Just about the only person who might be able to help you is my beautiful daughter, that pretty girl down there swimming. Storm was fighting back her tears. So I went ahead and finished her story for her. Because, Dad said, just for some fun, Storm Kid has memorized the maintenance and repair menus for just about every seagoing craft there is, including your floating mansion. And then you fix their engines, said Tommy. Only because Dad asked me to, said Storm, trying to dry her eyes with her knuckles. It was what we beautiful daughters do. Okay, Tommy, your turn. Tommy fumbled with the hat in his hand. Okay. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. For everything. We all nodded, because that's pretty much the sum of it. We stood on the deck, watching it float slowly away. So, they had a funeral at sea for their parents. Not really sure anything else about the story. We're going to pick up tomorrow on chapter 3. I want you to leave me a comment. Do you think their parents are actually dead? Do you think they're alive? Would you have done that funeral? Would you have not? Give me your ideas. Have a good day, guys. Miss you.